Hi everyone, welcome back to 5 Feet Under Podcast. We're your hosts, Genesis,
Maui.
So today, as you can tell by the title of the podcast, we're going to be discussing our culture, which is Hmong culture, mainly my aunt, because let's just say I'm third generation immigrant, so I'm a little out of touch, unfortunately.
Well, and we're going to talk from your perspective too.
Yeah. So we're going to be doing our regular peaks and pits. We're going to do our pop culture devil's advocate, which will be the whole Sabrina, Camila, Shawn Mendes situation. Yeah, so let's get right into it. I hope you guys are doing great, but we're going to get into our peaks and pits. So I'll start with my peak. My peak is I went to the 49ers opening game. We won. Let's go Niners. I'm wearing my merch. I got this at the game. I always go to the games with my dad. Me and my dad are huge Niner fans. I saw my husband, Fred Warner, and it looks so good. I don't know why he wears the same workout set every time he preps for the field. Anyways, but it was a really fun game. I think we scored 2 touchdowns higher than them. It was against the New York Jets. It was just a really good game. I had a really good time, and it was just nice to get out and spend some family time with my dad. And Niners, let's make it to the Super Bowl this year. Okay, when you tell me your peak, I'm going to do that. Okay, so what's your peak?
No, my peak is I've been able to sleep for a good 6 hours now. Yeah.
Guys, that is a record.
I've been having a lot of insomnia, especially over the summer. So being able to sleep a full, but I've been waking up at 5. Not the hour I want to get up at, but, I guess, I'll lay there on my phone and then, slowly get up and get ready and stuff. But yeah, I've been able to sleep now. So, I'm really excited about that.
Guys, that's big because my aunt deals she'll wake up at 3 a.m. and stay up until 6 a.m. and then sleep. She just has a lot of sleep problems. So so what have you been doing? Or has it just been happening?
I don't know. Maybe it's working.
I think you've been exhausted from work.
Yeah.
That you're
Yeah, I'll fall asleep around 10 o'clock and then wake up at 5. So
that's not bad.
That's good. 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 7 hours.
Compared to her other sleep hours, brother.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 or 4 hours maybe.
But we're going to be moving on to our pits. So my pit of the week is I started my job, so I'm on my regular work routine right now. Guys, I've been busy. My pit is when I start school, I don't know how busy I'm gonna be. I'm kind of scared. Also, I have my own content creation going on and just life in general. And I've been working out and just working and just school doesn't start for another 2 weeks. So I'm just how am I gonna juggle everything? I think I've just been a little exhausted, which I also think it's a good thing though, because when I go to sleep at night, I'm I don't watch TV. I just go straight to sleep. But yeah, I'm just a little worried about my schedule. But I think I'll make it through. I think it's better to be busy than just doing nothing at all. Right. But yeah, so my pit is just I'm a little worried about how busy I'm gonna be. So how about you? What's your pit?
My pit. Okay, so I needed some stuff from Walmart, because that's the only
Can you describe your Walmart in your hometown a little bit?
It's a little ghetto. It's a little the shady part of town where drug addicts are. There'll be people when you're walking out asking you for drug money or strung out on the streets. Yeah, so I try to go to Walmart during the day only. But I really needed something, so, I can't go to Target. I would love to go to Target. We used to have a Target there, but it closed. Due to the high crime there. Yeah.
Target closed?
Yeah. And so I would have to go to another town if I wanted to go to Target. Because of all, you know how people just grab and go? That's how they shoplift?
Target has such a big shoplifting problem.
Yeah, so I remember I was at Target and this family, it was a mom and a dad and a little baby, and they had a cart full of stuff and they just walked out with it.
You saw that?
Yeah. Right in front of me. So I was just
so that's why the Target closed and she had to go to Walmart.
So I had to go to Walmart, because I wasn't going to drive another 20 minutes to go to Target because Walmart's right there. So, anyways, I went to Walmart and I was standing in line, and I was a good 6 feet away, I want to say.
From the next customer?
Yeah, from the next customer. And there was 3 of us in line. So one was paying, and the lady that was in front of me was standing right where the belt ends before you enter into the cashier. And she would not let me put my stuff down. Like she wanted that space for herself. And but when the window opened, I got tired of carrying my stuff, and so I sat it on the belt, and then once the belt started to move, she took my stuff and shoved it all the way back, threw all my stuff all the way back, and I'm like, is there a problem? She's like, yes, you're breathing down my neck, and I'm like, lady.
And it was a Karen.
Yeah, I was like, what purpose do I have to be all up in your face? First of all, it's like, we're not in COVID times. Hello? I don't need to be, I was like, if you're so afraid of going out and, being with people, why even go out at all? Send people to get your stuff. I don't know. And then I had to get ethnic in there. I had to get ethnic.
Stop. Ethnic?
Ethnic. I'm not gonna say ghetto. I had to get ethnic. Okay, so whatever ethnic means,
guys,
raising your voice, getting your
guys, if you
chicken necking.
If you want to cancel our podcast, just cancel her, not me. I didn't say anything.
Ethnic. I'm trying to be. No, girl. So, and then I got a little loud. I was just like, "What is your problem?" And then we've got homegirl over there watching us fight, and she was like, girl, I got you, you did nothing wrong. I was like, thank you. I was like, yeah. So anyways, yeah, I have a problem with people just I don't think I was invading her space. I think I was a good 6 feet away, and then for her to still take over that whole spot until the cashier was ready for her, I just thought that was just mean-spirited.
She was just being a Karen, literally, rude for no reason.
For no reason, and that's why I got upset. But, inside my mind, I was like, I should probably just be nice to this lady, but then, I don't know, I'm only human.
Also, it's just kind of sad. This is, a normal Walmart experience.
I know, and I hate that, and that's why I hate going to Walmart.
But I love it because it's cheap.
Yeah, exactly.
But then the people there's also so many creepy men, I'm sorry,
Yeah, so I don't know. There's pluses and minuses to every store. So, anyways, I ended up going to Target later, anyways, because because you know how Walmart doesn't have the digital pay. They don't have digital pay.
the phone?
Yeah, you can't pay with your phone or anything like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So because I didn't have my card on me, so I had to go to Target anyway. So. Whatever. So, yeah, so people sometimes are downers, Debbie Downers.
I want to add to that. We have a funny story from COVID times. It kind of similar. Can I tell it?
Yeah.
Kind of similar situation.
Yeah.
Okay, so me and my aunt, we actually lived together during COVID times because I feel like that's what a lot of families did.
Yeah.
But we lived together and we were going to Target. This is also kind of like the end of the pandemic, I feel where people could actually go out. You just had to wear masks, stay 6 feet. We respect that, everything. So we I think feel like we made what is that word? We made knowledge to stay 6 feet away from people. We took that into account when we went out. We were responsible about that. So we're going to Target and we're going down this aisle and there's this lady on the ground. She's looking at stuff and we're definitely 6 feet away from her, but we're on the same side of the aisle that she is. She literally gets up and she goes, stay 6 feet away, stay 6 feet away.
She's like 6 feet, 6 feet, 6 feet, all paranoid, and I'm like, lady, don't go out, go back to your cave or wherever you came from.
If you're gonna be that scared, if someone's on the same aisle as you, please stay home.
Yeah.
She was looking at us we were freaking science subjects.
That we had just came into her space, even though we were still 6 feet away, and I'm just like.
She looked at us like abominable creatures or something.
Yes. Yeah.
Also, before we end the section, I wanted to show you guys our special guest. His name's Ghosty. My brother named him. My mom got him from Costco. We're gonna have him here. We're gonna have some more Halloween decoration because it is fall time. That's also part of my peak. Because the pumpkin cream cold brew, so good. But yeah, so. Okay, so moving on to our next section of the podcast, we're going to move to our pop culture devil's advocate section. So I'm going to let my aunt take the wheel introducing it on this one.
I guess, I just been seeing like the love triangle of Sabrina Carpenter and Camila Cabello and Shawn Mendes. Just have to say, Shawn Mendes, he's so cute.
Oh, okay.
Do you think he's cute?
He's alright.
Anyways, but supposedly, like, after, like, Shawn Mendes and Camila Cabello broke up, he, like, hooked up with Sabrina Carpenter, and I guess he had, I don't know how long they were together, but...
Sabrina and Shawn?
Yeah, I don't know how long they were together, but he had left her for a weekend or whatever to go to Coachella, and then he hooked up with Camila Cabello over in Coachella. So Sabrina didn't know that, I guess they were broken up or whatever. So, yeah, then they wrote songs about their escapades. Like, Sabrina wrote this song called Taste, where, like, she's like, I had your man, and then when you're tasting him, when you're kissing him, you're gonna be tasting me. I'm like, dang.
Yeah, and I told my aunt what she means by that is that someone's saliva, when you kiss them, stays in your mouth for 3 months.
3 months? Dang.
Okay, who's the last person you kissed?
Dusty.
She thinks this joke is so funny. It's not. My mom just walked in and she's like, what is wrong with your aunt?
Dusty. His first name is Dust. His last name is T.
She thinks it's so funny.
Yeah, nobody. I haven't kissed anybody.
I haven't anybody either. We're still sexless in the city.
Exactly. Dusty, yeah.
Anyways, continue.
Yeah, so she wrote that song, and then Camila Cabello wrote a song back called June Gloom or something like that.
June Bloom?
Oh, yeah, whatever. Anyways, so she's like, well, if she's so awesome, why are you over here? If she's so awesome, like, what you doing? Like, so, whatever. Devil's advocate, I'd like to be devil advocate for Shawn Mendes, because I'm like, you got two girls fighting for you, pretty much. And
every man's dream.
Yeah, exactly. And then devil's advocate is, he's a good-looking guy. He could probably
I never said he was ugly.
He can have anybody pretty much.
I never said that he was ugly. It's just he's not my type personally.
Why is he not your type? He's a white boy?
Let's just say that if there's two types of chocolate, and there's a white chocolate and like a chocolate milk. Let me stop talking. Sorry. If there was two milks in front of me, you guys know that trend. If there was two milks in front of me, and there was the regular white white milk, and then the chocolate milk. Let's just say I would drink the chocolate milk. So that's
Michael B. Jordan's milk.
But continue with the pop culture thing.
Yeah, well, that's my devil's advocate. Who would you be devil's advocate?
We're done explaining it. The VMAs.
The VMAs? What happened to the
She was
VMAs?
singing that song or something like right in front of them. It came out like they were there.
I didn't know they were there.
I saw this like on Instagram Reels where they were like, oh, her singing this song in front of them is crazy because of all the drama that went on.
I personally think it's she has her own boyfriend.
They're so cute.
Yeah. She has her own boyfriend, and I don't know, for me, I feel like it's just a song. So, personally, playing devil's advocate for Sabrina, it's a song. And I'm supposed to be performing, so I'm just going to sing the song.
To play devil's advocate for Camila Cabello.
Yeah, let's try.
Okay,
What would be a good, yeah.
Did Camila know that?
Oh, I know a good stance for Camila. Girl, I had him first. Girl, I had him first, and then he wanted second, so he came back. So,
Wait, did Camila know that Sabrina and Shawn were hooking up?
I'm pretty sure she did.
And she still hooked up with him?
Well, I don't know. Like, I think that, like, well, you've never been in a super, like, serious relationship. So, like, she and Shawn Mendes were together for 2+ years.
Very public.
Yeah. So, like, I mean, those feelings just don't go away,
I know. Okay, so playing devil's advocate for Camila, like I feel like we always talk about this, but it's so true. Like the public doesn't understand that these people are real people. How many of y'all have gone back to your ex? Like, let's be honest.
Yeah.
How many of you guys have been in a relationship and it just feels like there's unfinished business and you have so much love for that person where it's like, damn, I want you back. And that's just how love is. So I feel like we have to.
You've got deep insight for such a young person who's never been in a relationship. Like, I personally didn't even see that. Yeah, but yeah, I've double dipped many times.
I haven't done that yet and I don't plan to, but yeah, my aunt always says like I have an old soul. So that is our pop culture. Do you have anything else to say?
No, but I'm sure Shawn and Camila are happy, and Sabrina's happy with what's his name?
Barry. He was in Saltburn. Dude, that video they did together for
Please.
Dude, I love that video. So cute.
I love the song. I don't like the video.
Oh, yeah. When me and my aunt were in Hawaii, we were literally listening to that song over and over again. Yeah. But congrats for Sabrina for winning Artist of the Summer.
Yeah.
She was though.
And the song of the summer too. Yeah, that's what she won. Yeah, good for her. Applause.
But yeah, that's our section for Devil's Advocate Pop Culture with Sabrina.
Yay.
Shawn Mendes, and Camila. Okay, everyone. So moving on to our next section of today's podcast. If you guys didn't know, we are both Hmong. She's full Hmong. I am Hmong slash Mexican, and we're just going to be discussing Hmong culture because we also find it fascinating, and I feel like just also you guys learning about different people's culture is very important because whenever I try to learn like people's culture because it's just different. And it's really interesting. So my aunt's just going to kind of explain her side of it because she is an immigrant. So you can take the lead.
Okay.
Nejong Kulumbeya Genesis. That is.
Yeah, you hear that accent? Anyways, yeah. I do want to preface this by saying that this is from my journey. This is what I've gone through. And I hope that, like, that other Hmong people can relate, or other people in general can relate to my story. There are things I love about my culture. I love shamanism. I love shamanism. It's so
fascinating.
Yeah, it's like I'm glued to YouTube. I don't know what this YouTuber's name is, but she's Hmong, and she actually talks about being a shaman herself from a modern point of view. I probably should get her name. But yeah, and she speaks in English, and she talks about, like she learned how to be a traditional shaman, but it didn't really work out for her, so she's trying to live her normal life. Somebody who sees and experiences, these spiritual things.
I just wanna like preface something. Like, if you guys don't know what Hmong is, we should preface this. Yeah. It's a very small clan from Laos. Laos is in Asia. It's like in the middle of like Vietnam, Thailand. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're a very small clan. We're from the jungle. Literally don't have anything to our name but the jungle. Yeah. And our pride. We'll get into Hmong pride later.
We're poor but prideful community.
And the primary religion that a lot of more like old Hmong folks, I feel like, practice.
Traditional Hmong.
Traditional is shamanism. And shamanism, explain shamanism.
Shamanism is basically like there's a witch doctor in your community that you contact if anything bad happens to your family. You know, like if you get really sick, or like if you need something to happen, or like some things are happening at your house that you just bad juju and bad vibes. So you go talk to the witch doctor. Like, can you see what's wrong? Like, can you contact the spirits to see what's... So basically, the witch doctor, the shaman, goes to the other side, to the spiritual side, and talks to whatever spirits are like, are upset with your family or whatever you're doing. And, they basically negotiate a price. So that could be like killing a pig or a cow, or, making like some sort of sacrifice.
Yeah.
Or, I've seen... when we were practicing shamanism, burning of like paper money. So that's, basically burning the money to give to, the others on the spiritual side. Or, so many different things that, whatever they're, negotiate. Yeah.
Shamanism is a very spiritual religion, and I feel like a lot of traditional cultures can relate to, where I feel like the modern world thinks sickness is that's just science, but no, these religions believe that it's because a spirit is causing this.
And it's very close to Native American, because when I started looking into the Native American culture, I was like, wow, that's really similar to our culture, because we have shamanism too. But yeah, I've just been so fascinated. Like when I watch the rituals, I mean, they basically bang a gong, and that is the sound. I mean, I don't know these like precisely what it does, but supposedly the gong is, the sound that the shaman follows, and that leads him to, and then, they put a veil over the face. I never really knew why they put a veil over the face, because is it because it blacks out other things? I don't know. I mean, I should probably ask somebody, but like.
But also, I want to say that like when my aunt and like my family moved to this country for the first time, they were shaman.
Yeah, we didn't convert. We converted to Christianity like I don't know, maybe in the 80s. But so, they
Talk
put a
about
veil.
moving to the country.
Well, I don't necessarily want to tell everybody how old I am. Well, we came to this country in the late 70s.
Because
Well, of course, we were refugees of war, and we won the lottery to come to America.
how many kids were there with you guys?
We had, well, there's a total of 11 of us, so there was 8 of us at the time. I believe 9. Sorry. 9.
My grandparents hauled these kids to America from Laos.
And didn't speak a lick of English, and like that's what amazes me every time when I think about it. I'm like, dang, y'all brought your whole family here without knowing a single word of the language. I mean, could you imagine how scary that is for all the immigrants that like basically come to this country without, like, they left the world they knew behind, and they're like, okay, I'm putting all my trust in in just whatever, whoever you reach out to.
Yeah.
Like the greater force that you reach out to.
Just to emphasize how different it is, like in Laos, like their house is made out of bamboo. They fight for their food.
Yeah, we have to farm for our food. So
It's the jungle. If you
Yeah.
if you guys watch like Survivor Naked and Afraid, that's everyday life.
we basically, like, the farming is like hours away from the village. So it's not in the village. You have to wake up early, and I'm sure you hike about like 3 to 5 miles to get to the farm.
So they moved here, refugees from war. They first stopped in Chicago.
Yeah. That was a culture shock, because to come from the jungles of Laos into the jungles of like Chicago.
Funny.
Yeah, like seeing buildings and seeing concrete, which I've never seen before.
Non-Asian people.
Yeah. And like, of course, being thrust with like diversity in my face, seeing, black people, that completely like
Shocks a lot of Asian people still to this day in their very own country.
loop. I was like, oh my god, like, um, but yeah, and of course, trying to acclimate to the American culture. Of course, my parents, they didn't do so well.
Traditional.
So traditional. My dad threw away our Christmas trees that like the sponsors would drop off at our house because he just didn't believe in that. Threw away all our presents. And that's not to say anything bad about my dad. I just think that they believe what they believe, and so
It's just like I feel like what I also didn't understand till I got older is like, guys, like people's lives in different countries, like they don't see anything wrong with that. And putting our Western views on that, like we can't do that. That's their tradition. That's their culture. You know what I'm saying?
yeah. And so like
You can't really blame them.
yeah, you can't because that's all they know.
Yeah.
And to be able to wrap their minds around a new culture, that's going to take time, you know. So my dad was a traditionalist until he passed away. So he never really got into the American culture, and that's where my journey began because I was 5 when I first came here, and to be shocked with like things like TV and like supermarket,
High school.
yeah, like school period, because I never went to school before.
Yeah.
And growing up as a Hmong person, I felt really out of place. I felt like, although I understood my culture, I felt like I didn't really belong. I felt like I had to be Hmong when I came home, but when I went to school, I had to be American, right? I had to fit in. I had to, you know, find ways to leave my culture behind, in a sense.
Because you also didn't agree with things here.
Well, I didn't agree with a lot of the culture. Well, so, being Hmong when I came home and being American when I was at school, that really, it didn't confuse me, but I also felt like I couldn't really relate to a lot of the culture, really, honestly, because
Hmong culture?
yeah, because like the women were made, basically little girls are raised to be homemakers, professional cooks, clean the household, take care of the family, while the man is, the head of household who makes all the decisions. And like, basically, if you're not married, by the time you're 18, you're pretty much an old maid. Well, as you can tell, I'm still not married. I'm in my 40s.
That played a big part into you feeling like the black sheep.
Oh yeah. I felt always like I've always done things differently, by the way I speak, the way that I act, and of course that caused a big discord with my mother. Like I felt like we didn't understand each other because I was battling with trying to, acclimate to American culture and to, trying to like delve into Hmong culture.
So get more specific. Like, what did you guys disagree with?
Well, first of all, I have 8 brothers, and like, I personally think,
I think I know where this is going. You always complain about this.
yes,
Till this day.
okay, like here I am, like a 3rd grader, who's doing 4 hours of laundry for a household of 13, and I just never understood that.
So you were at the laundromat with your mom?
Yeah, I was at the laundromat for 4 hours, and then we still had to come home and dry the clothes, which was another hour. And my brothers would just be sitting at home watching TV and like eating and like laying around. And I'm just like, it's me, my older sister, and my mom. And I'm just like, why is this division of labor so like so unfair. Like, why do the women have to carry this kind of load? Like, and then I didn't know what the rules were because my mom never really it was just supposed to be known. Like I'm supposed to cook. Like I'm supposed to
We like this saying that in Hmong culture, the 10-year-old takes care of the 5-year-old, and the 5-year-old takes care of the newborn.
Exactly. So by the time
You were chefing it up at 5 years old.
at 5 years old, I was already cooking rice. But I didn't know that was my job. Honestly, I really didn't because I had a different way of thinking. So my mom just thought that I should have known those things. Those things were just, yeah,
your role. You should talk about also the uproar of the cheerleading.
Yeah. So like I told you guys, I was a black sheep. So in high school, I started cheerleading when I was in 8th grade. And my parents never understood that. They're like, what is that? And why do you guys wear short skirts? And what is all that jumping around that you guys do? And but I really felt like, those things gave me joy. They gave me a break from having to be a daughter 24/7.
So you like performing? That's
Yeah,
cute.
not just that, but I've always been into the world of entertainment and performing, ever since I was little, ever since I came to this country. And they never understood that part of me.
They never supported
that.
the cheerleading.
Yeah, that creative side of me. So I was in theater, and I acted a lot. A lot of my plays they didn't come to, but I understood that. A lot of my games and a lot of the competitions.
Never came?
No, a lot of the competitions that I had, they never came, but I never blamed them because that's their culture. They don't get it. So
That's what I was saying before. It's just their culture.
yeah. So I never
Put that on them.
yeah,
too,
yeah. So but they didn't understand why I would I raised this money myself.
Tell them.
Yeah, every year
Tell them how
there
you
was
would lie.
this cheerleading camp cost $300, and I would be knocking on people's door every weekend trying to get donations, girl. And I've raised money every single year for myself
To get to this camp.
Yes, because my parents would not give me the money.
They were broke.
Well, not just that, but it's
They wouldn't give it to you.
they didn't understand it, so they're not going to give me money for things that
Tell
they don't
them what you
understand.
were raising money for.
What do you mean?
Didn't you say you lied about raising money for cancer or something?
No.
Yes, you did. One time you said you told the people you're knocking on the doors to that this is for cancer.
No.
Oh.
Whose story are you telling right now?
Oh, anyways. But
Yeah. So I raised all that money myself, and my dad was still upset that I would spend $300 on something he didn't understand. But and like I told you guys, I was the only one out of my family to go to college.
you dipped.
Yeah. As soon as I graduated high school, I was out of there.
CSULA.
Not that and even till this day, I still disagree with a lot of that part of the culture. Let's get into it. In Thailand and in Laos, they used to kidnap brides. If a guy saw you and he liked you, girl, he would just grab you and take you to his house. And once they take you to their house, your parents won't take you back. Your parents won't take you out because basically it's already implied that he's already slept with you and you're no good anymore. So you pretty much are bound to marry him. Yeah. Yes. And there was a case that I saw. I don't know what the lady's name was, but she was Hmong, and she took her husband to court, girl. This is after 20 years that they've been married, and she's like, he kidnapped me as a child. Yeah, she was telling the court. She's like, he kidnapped me as a child, and now we have 9 children, and I never agreed to marry him, and girl,
I was groomed.
yes, and they punished him. He was found guilty. I was like, oh.
That's what also I disagree about the Hmong culture. A lot of the men marry very young girls,
very.
and it's just common to marry these minors in America. We see that as like, no, like that's not okay because it's not, because their minds are not fully developed.
And I don't want Hmong people watching this saying why are we talking about like the bad side of like what Hmong people do. But I also feel like we need to bring these things into light as well, because we are no longer living in our country, and we can't carry the traditionals and the cultures that we have. We can carry some cultures, but that culture here is illegal, and so we can't do that.
Also, it's not right.
It isn't. And like,
And also, thing about Hmong culture that I've personally experienced in our family, like it's so hush hush.
yeah, I think that's almost every
That's true.
Asian family, because we just need to like, we just like this thing of sweeping everything under the rug.
Letting it blow up.
Exactly. And like, you know,
Acting like everything's perfect.
yeah. And that's one thing I don't like. And if that's not your journey, then you know, at least you're listening to somebody who went through this, right? Like, okay, maybe that wasn't your journey.
Culture is about
Yeah.
those native people's perspective, and this is your perspective.
Yeah. What other things that well, I mean, because you know, my house was heavy-handed with a lot of boys. You know, I mean, the favoritism that my parents showed, like to boys, that can do whatever they want. They can go out. They don't really have to let my parents know, and they can go out till whatever time. But like me, my sister, oh, we had to report. Like it was like
A month in advance.
Yes, like my older sister was beautiful, and my parents didn't let them out of my sight. But I was the fat funny one. I was the fat funny one, so like nobody worried about me. But of course, my dad didn't want me cheerleading and like acting, because he didn't understand that stuff, because he felt like, ooh, that's, you know, that's devil's work. um, yeah. So like, let me just sprinkle some positivity in here, because I love our cultural wear. I think it's so beautiful.
So wait, can we start? Okay, so that's kind of like just like a little sum up of my aunt's
Yeah.
POV. We should definitely do a part two, because I feel like we could talk about it for hours. You guys don't even know all the lore. Like the lore, the shamanism side of it, girl.
Yeah.
The scary stories, girl.
Yeah.
But we want to end this episode on a positive light, so we're going to talk about Hmong culture. Positively.
I love our traditional wear.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, it's if you guys, you know, I wish I had a, you know,
You guys could look it up.
yeah. The clothing that we wear, the jewelry that comes with it, everything is so beautiful. And I love our native songs. I wish I could sing Kitsia. It's like, I wish I could do it. Or like the spoken word. The spoken word that many people do. I think all that stuff is super interesting. And when they blow on the leaves, dude, that's magical. Like when they blow on the leaves, or like, we call it kang, but it's like it looks like a saxophone, sort of like a long wooden saxophone, but so awesome. But anyways, I've been talking a lot, so I want to hear my niece's perspective from, you know, being half Mexican and half Hmong, and how it feels when you go to the Hmong side of the gatherings, and like what does it feel like for you?
Yeah. So, I feel like a lot of mixed kids feel this, but when growing up, I never felt Hmong enough. I never felt Mexican enough. I would always get made fun of. I don't think people knew what they were doing to me. Like when they would make fun of me for being Mexican or being Asian on both sides, like I know they didn't have ill intention, but what that did, it literally made me feel like my personality has to be on top. I have to be on top. Like I have to be like the most fun and nice person here. Like I can't mess up. Like I'm already not enough. Like it literally made me feel like that. And I like literally like it's not their fault. Like, like in families, like you make funny nicknames. You like, oh, that's the Mexican of our family, oh, that's the Asian of our family, like, you know what I mean? Like, it's it was definitely made me really insecure as a kid, I feel like. I'm kind of over that now because I feel like I'm pretty confident in myself. But it was also too, like, I always wish, like, can I just be Hmong, or can I just be full Mexican? Can I just be one thing? You know what I mean? I always felt like that my whole entire life. I was like, can I just be one? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Hmong specifically, I'll go into like the Mexican side another time.
Yeah.
But specifically talking about Hmong culture, it's unfortunate. I feel like I'm not very in touch with my Hmong culture, even though I literally look full Asian. I literally don't look Mexican at all. I feel like I'm more Mexican
Yeah.
than Asian, but Hmong side,
Identify more with your
I identify more side, but the Hmong side of it, I feel like my mom kind of grew apart from her Hmong culture,
Yeah.
which translated into her kids, of course.
Yeah.
And my aunt and my mom were the first people in our family not to marry Hmong men or be with a Hmong partner.
Yeah.
So I appreciate Hmong culture, of course, like the clothes, the food, amazing.
Yeah, food.
But I just feel like I'm so Americanized, where I see the Hmong part. Oh my god, these birds. The Hmong part of it, it's just, as a third generation immigrant, I'm just not really in touch with it.
So I do have a couple of questions for you. Like,
Sorry if you guys hear these birds. Anyways.
yeah. So like, when when you come over to the Hmong family gathering and they call you like, "Hey, what's up, you Hmong Mexican?" Like, how did that make you feel?
As I said, like, it didn't feel good. Like, and everyone, like, would be, like,
Laughing.
everyone would be laughing, and then, like, when I, even say if, like, something, like, as a kid, like, I didn't really like spicy food as a kid. If I didn't eat spicy food, oh, you're not Hmong enough. You need to eat it to be Hmong. Like, it's just kid talk, but that, when you're a kid, like, everything's very, like, embellished in your brain, you know what I mean? So, it's just, I never felt enough. I never felt enough for both cultures, and it's just, and I feel like also Hmong culture, oh my gosh, you have to be full Hmong. If you're not full Hmong, you're like, you're not beautiful enough, you're not good enough, like, but I also feel like people, since I am mixed and I do look kind of like ambiguous, I feel like people have been jealous.
Yeah, I can understand that.
And I'm not saying like, oh my god, everyone's like jealous of me, but like hatred, not hatred, but like being
Ignorance.
being mean to somebody or disliking them
Yeah.
often comes from jealousy. So yeah, that's my answer to that question.
So my other question is like, how do you feel not knowing any Hmong, right? Because I know that sometimes you feel like you wish you could have learned some.
Yeah, so if you guys don't know, both of my languages I'm not very fluent in. I feel like I'm more fluent in Spanish definitely than Hmong. It's all because my parents, they didn't teach me, so I'm not gonna blame them on that. That's a whole different story. But yeah, I feel like a lot of mixed kids deal with this too in America. It's also a juggle to handle two cultures. A juggle.
But also on the positive side, you have such rich culture. You
I
know?
know, yeah.
Like Mexican and Hmong. Wow.
I feel like I always say this, since I have two cultures, I feel like I have like a wide view on things, and I feel as if I don't know, I feel like I'm more open-minded about things, and I feel like I have so much fulfillment in my life because I have all these people, you know what I mean, and all this culture, and I used to be like, can I just be one thing? But now I feel like I'm so grateful for it because I'm not just one thing. I'm a lot of things. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Many things.
Yeah. Yeah, so of course I feel like a lot of mixed kids and just, third generation immigrants that come to America, they kind of fall out of touch with their culture, and I just want to say, if you can, please get in touch with your culture. I need to work better on it. I feel like also while letting some things go that aren't right, I feel like also harvesting that culture is really important because we just don't want to let it fall away.
You're so well spoken. Yes, absolutely. I love my culture. Please, if you're Hmong or if you're just watching this,
Practice it.
like don't think that I don't love my culture. I do. But there are parts of my culture that needs work. I'm sure
Make you
with
strive away from it.
yeah,
It's traumatizing.
yeah, and like with every culture, I'm sure there's parts of your culture that you probably don't enjoy either.
But also,
But
you need to cherish it.
yeah, absolutely. And of course, the things that I love, I'm going to keep those things. I mean, I'm going to keep all the clothes that my mom gave me. Like,
The crowns.
yes.
Yeah.
So I do love my culture.
I
And
love both of my cultures.
exactly. So, well, see you again next time. Please like and subscribe.
Yeah, so you guys can obviously, right now you're watching us on YouTube, or you can stream us on Spotify at 5 Feet Under Podcast. I really hope you guys enjoyed this episode, and just know that these are our own opinions and advice, and this is our own culture. And I just want to preface this again. As a mixed kid in America, third generation immigrant, it's hard to keep in touch with the culture, but just do it. And it is unfortunate that I'm not very in touch with it, but it's a normal thing, and we all have to be better. And yeah, so I hope you guys have a good a morning, day, night, whenever you're watching or streaming us, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
See you.
Bye.